Get in, nerds. We're playing Hearts of Iron 4. We got... I'm not going to say surprise, Ward. It wasn't a surprise. I knew we were going to go to war with the Soviet Union eventually. But it was certainly a surprise that it happened now. I'm going to go ahead and get these infantry divisions deployed and throw them into our training army, so we can just get as many divisions onto the front as we can. Let's get on our mobile army, and the mobile army itself is going to go in here. I think at this point we can no longer delay. We have to get an intelligence agency ready. I'm going to call them the Abwehr. That's the historical name. We do have tanks in production. That's very good. Do we have our medium tank? I'm going to rename this the Light Tank Division. The AI loves to make tank divisions that are different types of tanks together. I don't love that. We don't have mechanized research yet, so producing medium tank divisions is not going to be viable for us at the moment. But it is tempting to deploy medium tanks with motorized, but I'm not going to do it. We're going to leave that template dormant for now. Next up, we're going to get our trade interdiction fleets deployed to lock down Soviet trade in the West, as well as that of our enemies in the Atlantic. All these fleets are going to be on convoy raiding. Time to split up the air wings. We're going to put 2 in the north here, combined with 2 wings of Cass, 2 wings of Cass in thinking about how to do this exactly. Put 4 air wings of fighters in eastern Poland. And I think we'll actually leave 2 more in the Baltic states. And then for the tactical bombers, the shorter range ones will deploy them to eastern Poland, and the longer range ones will keep them flying in the Baltic states. So how does that look? Perfect. It's looking just about as good as it could be. These units are all still planning. This one's still getting into position. The Soviet Union did not push forward here at all, so I'm optimistic that we're actually outnumbering them on this front. We'll also have a convoy down there. Interesting. White Finland accepts Soviet demands. White Finland, you're at war with the Soviet Union. Finland! Well, that's a different Finland. Is it? Are they at war with a different Finland? This is weird, friends. This is real weird. In any case, White Finland accepts Soviet demands. After much debate, the government of White Finland has decided to accept Soviet demands for border adjustments in the region of Karelia. The Soviet Union has cited the need to create a buffer zone to improve the security of Leningrad, located only 30 kilometers from the new former Finnish border. Many observers had feared that a full-scale Soviet invasion of Finland was imminent, but this diplomatic solution to lay those fears to rest. A pity, it would have kept the Bolsheviks busy. I almost said at bay. I thought the word was at bay. Let's go ahead and get our supply depots motorized and ready to go here. These ones are already motorized. I'm going to need a significant increase in fuel. Don't need this tungsten anymore, but I do need oil. I'm going to put 5 factories into it. That's going to slow down our build-up here, but we've got a pretty solid economy at the moment. Nice. I'm going to be doing a lot of convoy raiding over here. I'm actually going to scrap this invasion plan for now, because I don't want this army going forward when I'm not ready for it yet. Panzer divisions are deployed into the training army. We've got 9 divisions fully trained and ready in reserve. Let's go ahead and grab these panzer divisions and pop them into the mobile force. They're not fully ready yet, but they'll get ready as fast as they need to be. Going after a Soviet raiding fleet here. Go ahead and get this naval invasion finished. And I think I'm actually feeling pretty good about hitting the go button on these orders and seeing what happens. So, first, this army up here is actually pretty well prepared already. Go hit that go button. This army here, getting close. Mobile force. Where's the mobile force? These guys. Get those going. This army here. This army here. So, we got cylinders firing on all fronts. Don't have air superiority in Ukraine, but that's just going to have to be what it is, because I don't have long-range forces. I should deploy more air. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deploy some air in Germany. Let me see. We do have quite a few fighters ready to go. Are these American fighters? I think they are. And that should be about all of our fighter airwings. And then, let's see. Got some naval bombers here. Don't actually need that many of them. Mediums, we don't have many of it all. And then CAS, we've only got one additional thing of really realistically speaking. So we'll just deploy some more fighters for the moment. Naval invaders are in the water. Nailed some convoys. Naval invaders are naval invading. Oh, excellent. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So at this point, what we've done is we've pushed the enemy main fleet out of port. And now we've got fleets engaging with them here. So here comes our main battle fleet, and that should allow us to do some damage. Cool. Very good. We sunk a light cruiser and 2 destroyers, and we've done a significant amount of damage, so I'm hoping that we can have the rest of that good to go. So now this army is available. These units can go ahead and deploy to the front here. And that's these ones as well. They're still in the water. Do the thing. Well, anyway. I'm sure they'll get there when they get there. Oh, they're in a battle. That's why they're stuck in a naval battle. That's why they're not going anywhere. All right. So how is the invasion looking? It's looking pretty solid, actually. I've got a front up here that's redundant. So go ahead and get that put to go. Yeah, feeling pretty freaking solid about this whole situation. Do I still have some reduced price land doctrines? I don't. I'm going to have them in 35 days. So I'm feeling pretty good about this overall. And I've actually got an airbase in Ukraine already. So let's go ahead and put some fighters there. And we'll grab some casts, put them here. And we've got air bases in Belarus as well, so we'll go ahead and deploy air forces there. And then we'll do the same for the Novgorod air zone. I don't need all of these wings here. Some of them can go here. Actually, no. Some of them we need them in those. Yeah, so 200 and 200, 497, 200 and 200. And let's get our medium air deployed to Belarus. And that should do everything we need to do. This has been a very successful invasion of the Soviet Union. And to be honest, I'm almost a little bit disappointed just because I don't want to say vibes are off. It's the Soviet Union after all, and they're invading. Of course the vibes are going to be off. So what do I mean by this? What I mean is I thought this was going to be, you know, this is supposed to be kind of the Titanic struggle of the era. And it has wound up being a little bit of just a straight up. It's looking like it might be a little bit of a rollover, but I'm gonna, and I do want it to be a Titanic struggle, which is why I'm jinxing it right here. Because let me tell you, friends, I think we're gonna be home by Christmas. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. We're gonna have a big struggle, and we're gonna be home by Christmas. That's my hope. Let's go ahead and cue in some more synthetic refineries because we're just really short on oil. Now you might be asking yourselves, why does the cat have 48 divisions of infantry back in Germany defending? And the reason is because this front here in the south is going to extend really far south, and I'm going to need more divisions to deploy into those zones when that time comes. As you can see, we're having absolutely brutal supply problems here, which no one should shock you. By the way, I just want to introduce this to you because it's something that confused me for a long time. See this supply thing that's not a railway, but is still kind of along a railway? That's a river. That's supply arriving via the river here. It's a river connection. Just wanted to share that with you because if you're anything like me, you can very easily get confused by things like that. Supply hubs, we're going to continue to realize where's our supply hub over here. That's Leningrad. We have to get Leningrad. I hope Leningrad's not trying to prepare for some kind of long siege. Oh, wow! Kyiv already. Alright. Kyiv, the capital of the Ukrainian USSR, has been captured by the advancing German armies in the Soviet Union. The capture of one of the most important cities is a serious blow to the Soviets, but the question still remains whether the Germans can keep up their momentum. Moments after the Germans had occupied the city, thousands of mines planted by the NKVD were apparently detonated in buildings along the Khreshchatyk main street, causing even more damage to the already ruined city. Now the invading force looked to the east. Another victory for the fatherland. And we absolutely want to get in here before the Romanians do, because they're kind of bogged down here, and that's where we want them. We want the conquest of the Soviet Union to be our game. Oh, we're about to have Leningrad. Never mind. Get through the Poltava at all. So, at this point, I think this army. Go ahead and deploy there. I sure hope we destroyed the Swedish fleet. I'm gonna go ahead and get us an advance order and set these units going. How's our overall equipment situation? We're having an artillery shortage. That's not a shocker. Obviously, we had an anti-tank shortage before, and we're continuing to have it. And then support equipment's not looking too great. So I'm going to queue 4 more factories into artillery. Let's see, what else? We got 3 more going into tanks. So let's queue 5 more into infantry equipment and get that properly done. Got a lot of political power here, so let's take a look at what we can do. We do have a significant convoys rated war support malice that is not great. We're definitely going to encourage. Is this the right call? Hold on. Let me see this. Okay, I can get Canaris, my elusive gentleman, and that's going to really help with my spy agency. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm also going to get my Chief of Navy. We're going to go with Raider, the capital ship attack and scream attack guy, because he is because we're pursuing capital ship based strategy here. Nice. We're doing some damage to the Soviet fleets here in the Baltic. Go ahead and increase the size of my naval repair queue significantly. And I'm going to slate in a round of dockyards here. And this should help us sustain subsequent actions. In other areas. Not Gdynia, Danzig. Danzig in 3 different locations in this game. This might seem like it's a lot of dockyards, but if I'm going to... here we go. You know, they took their sweet time having a second civil war, but I knew they were going to do it, and they delivered. So, the Second Cristiano. The forces of church and revolution have once again come into conflict in Mexico. With the government renewing its attacks on the church, the embattled Catholic parties and social movements are launching an armed rebellion to seize control of Mexico. Cristero militias are reforming after a decade of inactivity, supplemented by defectors from the federal military. They are taking over several rural states and are using these as a base from which to operate. The First Cristiada ended with a settlement negotiated between senior revolutionary and church officials thanks to intermediation by the American government, but it looks likely that this violence will end only with the complete destruction of one of the belligerents. Long live Christ the King and Blessed Mary of Guadalupe. I don't know that that's a bark. Oh my goodness, Catholic Mexico is fascist. That's wild. I had no idea. Because typically Catholic Mexico is democratic. Great Britain is trying to take over Canada over here and, doing their level best with it. Here we go. We can invite to faction. Yes, please do join our faction, Catholic Mexico. You're not at war with anyone I'm not already at war with, right? No. All right, let's do it. I don't currently have any forces to deploy over there. But, I suppose I could help, but I'm not gonna. Let's go ahead and form a cryptology department. That's gonna help us with all the stuff we're trying to do. Continuing to raid convoys over here. Getting our own convoys raided over here. Let's get our naval bomber wings deployed to cover some of this sea zone. And actually, I'm going to deploy some more naval bombers here. We've actually got 2 more wings available. And those should be good to go in a little bit. How is the advance? The advance is ongoing. We've pretty much reached our goals, actually. So, let's go ahead and set the new goal to Moscow.
Angetreten. Ausrücken.
Get a hold of Leningrad over here. Get a hold of Volkov over here. And there's Army Innovations. Wonderful. So at this stage, I've got all of this futzing about in the Balkans to do, and none of it's mattered. We're just all going absolutely buck wild here. Let's go with... Why not? I think we're going to go with air invasions.
Los, los, los!
And 5 is going to get us... Oh, it's not connected to the supply network. Because the connection is through Leningrad, obviously. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a railway over here. We'll make that level 2. And all the others are level 1. We'll make it level 1 for now. I am going to build up some more railways in this general zone, but not quite yet. The overall situation is pretty silly on the finished one, but it is what it is. I'm setting up new fronts. I completely forgot.
Alright.
These ones deployed out to a farther battle plan here. I've got this one deployed to a farther out battle plan here. That was not right. Okay, we're good. That could nearly have been a giant problem. This, right. These ones are right over here. I can go ahead and recruit an agent. Let's get Evasive Bus. And we'll leave him defending our home espionage hub for now. Alright, so these airlings are ready for deployment. We're actually pretty far into the air zones that we're in now. We're doing pretty well overall. I think Ukraine is the air zone we need the most help in. So we'll put 2 of our better wings there. We'll put 2 of our less impressive wings here in the Novgorod air zone. These ones can... They should go forward, but there's not really that much space. But these ones definitely can. Right here. And these air wings can go to Kyiv as well. So we continue to advance forward. The fall of Leningrad. Here we go. Leningrad, the birthplace of the Russian Revolution, has fallen to the advancing German forces. Sporadic fighting can still be heard from some of the suburbs, but a strange calm appears to have settled over the rest of the ruined city. Earlier today, columns of German soldiers marched past St. Isaac's Cathedral, whose great dome has been painted gray by Red Army engineers to avoid the attention of marauding Luftwaffe bombers. Despite their efforts, it is riddled with bullet holes and shrapnel impacts. Another victory for the fatherland. Another historical thing just absolutely freaking destroyed. Oh, I'm going to separate some divisions here, and we're just going to put a battle plan here. And I think we're going to set the... we're winning here, so I'm just going to go ahead and set these battle plans going. And we'll, You're still advancing. You're this army. Alright. The mobile army, go ahead. And yeah, we're all going. Let's see. We've really cut into our infantry equipment supply. Actually going to queue that up to 30. Heavy MG is research that will let us get a hold of a new aircraft. It's closing in on 1940, and I'm going to get our research speed bonus up and running. a little early. It's going to cost us some research time, but it'll provide us with a lot more research time later on. Alright, this advance is going. Hopefully that'll allow us to encircle some units over here. Yes, we sure are having a serious problem with partisans in the Soviet Union. No one could have foreseen this. Let's go ahead and get all of these supply hubs motorized. So this is when the supply situation is going to start to get really dire. It's getting into October now, and like I said, home by Christmas. Maybe we'll just amend that to Moscow by Christmas. If we can get a hold of Bryansk, that's going to make this front a whole lot better. So let's go ahead and get some units attacking. Tanks are terrible defenders, and we're in a city here, so... Ooh, Vlasov captured. During the most recent retreat, a high-ranking Soviet general has been captured by our forces. In our custody, this general, Andrei Vlasov, has confessed his quote, anti-Bolshevism, unquote, and is now proposes to raise some divisions of captured Russians to fight alongside us against, quote, Stalinism, unquote. Any ally against the Russians is welcome. This creates a new German unit. And we cannot trust him. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to do it. So that's going to deploy us with some new divisions. This is an interesting situation. And we're going to put Vlasov in command of them. Where is he? Cool. So what these divisions are going to do is they're going to take over Sebastopol. That's going to be their primary job. So put them down close to the front so if they can get en route to doing that. Once again, I'm trying to cut off the Romanians so that they don't wind up getting ahead of us on this. We'll get a little bit of passive defense. Set this going. I have to say, we're getting really, really close to Moscow. And Soviet resistance is not stiffening. So I think at this stage, this might just be a wash. We're practically there. Okay, right now there's units in Moscow. We're practically there, and we're practically there with freaking light tank divisions. Which is absolutely wild to me. Oh my goodness. They abandoned Moscow. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Heck yes. The fall of Moscow. At dawn today, German panzers smashed through hastily erected barriers at the streets of Moscow, and half-tracks were... half-tracks. They're not half-tracks. We don't have half-tracks yet. Half-tracks were seen unloading Panzer Grenadiers on Red Square. Thick billowing smoke from the many fires raging in the suburbs could be seen rising into the air as German infantry stormed the Kremlin. Grenades and flamethrowers were reportedly needed to fight stubborn NKVD holdouts intent on defending every inch of the complex. The Russian capital is now in German hands, but has been left a burning ruin. Unconfirmed reports indicate Lenin's embalmed corpse was safely evacuated east. At last, Moscow is ours. Let's quickly manage our air situation here. It's still pretty alright. That was quite an effort. I'm just going to keep this pocket here closed. No enemy ciphers being decrypted. I mean, I felt like I was going to try to decrypt the Soviet cipher, and I still will. But at this point, it just kind of seems silly. We can go ahead and get another agent, so let's get Skorzny here. And we'll set him to suppressing resistance in our highest resistance areas, which are in, actually in Antwerp. Alright. So, Operation Barbarossa has been wild and absolutely an unmitigated success. We're already in Moscow. It's only October. It's been a ridiculous 2 months, but I foresee plenty of success in the future. But that's going to have to be for a later episode. For now, I've had a good time. I hope you all have had a good time, and I will see you all on the other side.